Guys, let me ask you a really hard and personal question. Do you ever feel smothered by the woman in your life? Now, it's not that you don't love her. I know that you do. It's just that she asks for a lot from you. And she never seems to be reassured enough when you're trying to comfort her through her anxiety, right? She never really believes that you love her. You want her to feel okay, but trying to make her feel okay all the time might drain you. If this sounds familiar, chances are that you're dating an anxiously attached woman. And there's a specific set of chemicals and relationship behaviors that you need to know about in order to satisfy her needs and to make this relationship more peaceful and fulfilling for both of you. Anxious women aren't bad. They actually can be some of the most loving people on the planet, but they have a very specific set of needs that can feel overwhelming sometimes. They can also, like I said, become some of the most selfless and affectionate partners in the world when you love them right. In this video, I'm going to show you how to meet her needs without feeling drained, how to get your needs met too, and how to turn this relationship into a fulfilling and relaxing place for both of you. I'm also going to show you when it's time to cut and run, if it's just absolutely not fixable at all, so that you don't have to wonder if things are not going to work out. Don't worry, in my clinical experience, this is only a tiny percentage of the time. This is not me just giving you a free pass to just bail out and run. Anxious women, if you're out there watching this video, that's not what it's about. I swear it is when things are truly unfixable. And it takes a lot to get there. So let's get right into it, okay? What is it that makes anxious women so anxious? Anxious attachment style starts when you're a child, when you don't receive the consistent love that you need. Now, it's a bonding hormone, oxytocin. Oxytocin is the hormone released when you feel loved and safe and cared for. It releases in the absence of cortisol. Cortisol actually blocks your production of this and the reception of this hormone. Anxiously attached people usually get this hormone a bit as children, but it's inconsistent. And then it's withdrawn. It can come from parents who love you and love you and love you and then pull away into distraction. And you don't know why that happened. Or they're hot and cold. Maybe your parent had a personality disorder. Maybe your parent fluffed you when it felt good to them to be a parent and then got bored of being a parent. Maybe people left and you blamed yourself. Maybe you always wondered why dad was never around. There can be a number of reasons that anxious attachment forms, but the child internalizes this belief that there's something unlovable about them. And what they form is this thing called emotional impermanence. Emotional impermanence is much like object impermanence. Now, I have 5 children myself, and I know little children, they have object impermanence. If there's an object in front of them, they know that it's real. But the moment that object is out of their sight, they think the object has disappeared and that it doesn't exist anymore. But then when it comes back, they're surprised the object still exists. And what they learn as an infant over time is that objects still exist when you don't see them. Now, emotional impermanence is when somebody's right in front of you giving you love, 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 but the moment their love is not visible to you, it feels like their love for you has died. And this may have what often is what happened in childhood, is that the moment someone wasn't in front of them, that person no longer cared for them, or it seemed that way. And so they need that reassurance to say, okay, you still love me. It's still right there. The moment it's gone, they go into oxytocin withdrawal. And it's like a drug. It is very, 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 very much like a drug withdrawal. Okay? That's anxious attachment. And they grow up having this in their relationships. They form relationships based on feeling loved and approved of, but feeling endlessly like a fraud, like an unlovable fraud on the inside, that if anyone ever sees who they really are, they'll be abandoned. They tend to connect most with avoidantly attached people because avoidantly attached people know how to make other people feel good on purpose early in the relationship so that other people will stay with them too. Avoidantly attached people go through the world typically making other people feel good so that other people will be reasonable. But when that hits an anxious person, it doesn't just activate a dopamine spike, it activates oxytocin spiking. Oxytocin means I accept you and love you and will never abandon you. And it's an endless drug spiral at that point. Now, this can look like them being always afraid. If you don't answer fast enough on your phone, they think that you've broken up with them. They think you're going to get tired of them and leave them. They think you're going to cheat on them, not because you're a bad person, but because they don't deserve fidelity. They think that you are never thinking of them. They think their needs are a burden, so they can never ask you for it. They have to do 10 nice things for you, hoping against hope that you will read their mind and meet their needs. It's a lot of secret contracts. It's a lot of nice behaviors instead of good behaviors, kind behaviors. They are always looking for a pat on the head. They are always looking for reassurance that you love them. Endless reassurance. Anxious attachment style makes them believe that they will never truly be loved and that they will be abandoned. So they're endlessly fighting against becoming abandoned. It feels like their entire life is a constant earthquake, and they're always afraid of what's going to crash and hit them. They're always afraid of being abandoned. They're always afraid of death, and abandonment feels like death to them. It wrecks relationships because eventually they burn out trying to earn your approval. They're constantly trying to earn your approval to get their needs met. And when you don't meet their needs, at first they blame themselves. And over the years, sometimes they blame you. I've also seen it where when they have children, anxious women flip around and then they blame you for their children not being secure. Maybe because you were avoidant. You become the enemy. They become hyper fixated on their children. I've seen that plenty of times. I wrote the book on that called Exhausted Wives, Bewildered Husbands. It is right over my shoulder, right there on Amazon. Anxious women and avoidant men at 20 years of marriage getting divorced because the resentment is so high. Anxious women are not bad. They're not bad women. They're very, very scared women who give their hearts away, desperate to not be abandoned. But that resentment boils out of control. Okay? And even if it doesn't, it always does, but even if it doesn't early on, they burn themselves out. They're never happy. Their sex drive tanks at about 1 year because they're not getting enough oxytocin. And it's exhausting trying to meet their needs, but never having them tell you what their needs are. You might get even more exhausted if you're an avoidantly attached person because then you feel trapped. You feel smothered. You feel like you're being unreasonably demanded. Things taken out of your hands, forced out of your hands. The I did this for you, now you owe me mentality. You might feel that. You might feel utterly exhausted, like her needs will never be met, and now you're trapped. Now, this sounds pretty bad, okay? But your relationship is not doomed. Anxious attachment can be fixed, okay? I am Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I help people fix attachment, not to just deal with it, but to become secure. Now, I offer a ton of options for this. I'm just going to let you know right now, the Attachment Bootcamp video course is the fastest method for fixing anxious attachment. Check that out. You can watch it as a couple. You can give it to as a gift to her. Anxiously attached people are usually desperate to learn that they are not the problem, that avoidant attachment and anxious attachment just don't work, so you both have to become secure. They're usually very happy. In this video today, though, we're going to focus on how to love her as she's doing her own work, as she's taking the Attachment Bootcamp video course, as she's growing, as she's becoming more secure. How are you going to give her the love that she needs? Here's what she needs from you. Let's talk biochemically first. Anxious women need oxytocin. Now, their bucket is empty, has holes in it, so you need to fill their oxytocin and make them feel loved and cared for. What that does is it releases a hormone, a neurotransmitter called Gaba, gamma-aminobutyric acid. Gaba is an inhibitory neurotransmitter that makes her more resilient against stress in the future. It makes her more resilient against depression and anxiety. The more oxytocin she has, the longer she's resilient against stress in the future. This is why the big, loving, emotionally intimate connections last longer. It's GABA. GABA also helps release melatonin, so she'll sleep better at night. If you've ever noticed, anxiously attached women tend to sleep best when they are spooned by their partner and they flood with oxytocin, and all of a sudden they feel loved and connected, and then they pass out. Just like instantly, like dead. Like that kind of sleeping, okay? If you're watching this video and it seems like it would be easier to have somebody guide you through this, a mentor to show you exactly what to do step by step in applying everything you're learning here, you need to join the Attachment Circle Mentorship Program. I will work with you personally for an entire year in 100+ group calls. Plus, you're going to get the support of a growth-minded community of other individuals who be companions on your journey, people you can trust, people you can work with, and people you can practice these skills with. If you want to join us, join the Attachment Circle Mentorship Program. There's a link below in the description. I'll see you in there. Fixing attachment issues together can help her release vasopressin. Vasopressin is a bonding hormone. If she's been low on oxytocin, some of her oxytocin receptors may have shifted to be more sensitive even to vasopressin. So vasopressin bonding, solving problems together, tells her someone will help me during problems. I'm not alone. Serotonin. The more of all this you do, and the more intimate relationships you share with her, and connection and conversation and talking, the more serotonin she'll release, and the more stable her mood will become, and the more content she becomes over time, and the longer that lasts. And the more secure she becomes, the longer all of this will last, so you're not constantly refilling this every 10 minutes. It's once a week. Much easier, right? Once a month. It's much easier. If she's open and connected with other people in her life, they're also refilling her. So what do they need emotionally to do this? Well, they need more context from you. Anxiously attached women need context. What a lot of avoidant men, unfortunately, do is they don't share context about how they feel or what they're thinking. They play everything very close to the vest. And they don't tell her what you're thinking or feeling, what you're going to do, or what the boundaries are, or what the issues are. You keep everything inside. When a problem hits, you pull away. And then she's terrified because a problem has hit and you've pulled away and already abandoned her. They need context. They need to understand emotionally what you're going to do. They need you to be consistent. They need you to be predictable. Their parents were not predictable in how they could get love from their parents. So oxytocin would just go away. And they didn't know how. They blamed themselves, and they would hyperactivate to try to pull it back. If you can become very consistent and very predictable and give her the mechanisms for that love and that connection, her anxiety goes down. If you can also emotionally give her your needs so that she can be useful to you, helping her to feel useful to you in your life instead of saying, nope, I don't need you. Nope, I don't need you. Nope, don't do anything for me. Nope, I'm fine. If you can give her tasks that help you, she can find usefulness in your life and then feel valuable to you, like she's not going to be abandoned. I have a lot more on that in other videos on this channel about what makes women happy, how to fulfill them. It's hyper important for anxious women. They also need verbal affirmations, complimenting their character. More than the things they do for you. If you compliment the things they do for you, then they fixate on those as their only mechanisms for praise. You've probably heard the term praise kink. A lot of anxiously attached women have what you would consider a praise kink, where it turns them on a bit to be praised. Okay? Praise their character. Praise their self-reliance. Praise their attempts to grow and become self-soothing. Praise their diligent work to become more secure, more than you praise their physical attributes, which will fade over time. Sorry, you're not 90 years old and flamingly hot, typically. That will fade over time, but their character will grow over time. Praise their character. Also praise their directness and give them directness. Be very clear verbally with what you want and what you need. A lot of avoidant people have a hard time doing this. So if you're avoidant, practice that direct communication. That can help. What they need structurally. They need boundaries in the relationship. What would make me leave you? Tell them that. Hey, you know what? You're afraid of me leaving you a lot. Let me lay out exactly what would make me leave you. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Nope. Then I'm not going to leave you. If you ever wake up in the morning afraid I'm going to leave you today, ask yourself if you did these 3 things. If you didn't, nope, I'm not leaving you that day. Maybe the next day if you do those 3 things, but not that. Just try not to do those 3 things. Okay? Give them those clear expectations and boundaries. Clear expectations. Hey, today I could really use this. Can you help me? Hey, here's what I need in our relationship. Hey, here's how often we should be in the bedroom together. Hey, here's how often I need this from you. What do you need from me in return? I need you to share your needs with me so I can fulfill them. Clear expectations. Very clear. Safety. This creates safety for her. Clarity. Full clarity on what you're doing and why and what you need and what you expect. When she has clarity, she has clear mechanisms for getting her needs met consistently and safely and never has to wonder what's going on. That way she doesn't have to endlessly check in with you. Are you mad at me? 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 Nope. Wait, let me look at the gauges that tell me if he's mad at me. Nope, we're good. She can be self-soothing because she has those things. She can understand all of that. And then she can just clearly ask you, hey, is there anything we need to work on today? Or are we okay? Nope, we're doing good. Cool, thank you. Instead of, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Isn't that easier? Hey, checking in with you. How you doing today? Is there anything we need to work on? Nope, everything's great over here. Cool, I appreciate that. I trust it. That level of ease. Over time, as her biochemistry in her brain gets better and better and better, all of these things become less frequent. Here's a few practices that you can do right now, that you can put into play today to get easier. for both of you, okay? Get her to articulate her needs more directly. What do you need from me to feel loved? What helps you feel loved is an even better way to say it. What helps you feel loved? And why? And how often? Okay, I would like to do that. You can even go to her and say, I want more stability and safety in our relationship for both of us. And the best way that this attachment specialist on the internet has said to do that is sharing with each other the 3 things that make us feel loved and cared for. So I will share my 3 things with you, and in return, I would feel safe and cared for if you shared your needs with me. Keep in mind, a lot of avoidant women are endless martyrs, and they do not want to burden you, so they will very rarely share their things with you to make themselves feel better. Don't use that language. This will help you feel better. Well, I don't care about that. This will make me feel loved as your partner if you do this for me. Okay, I'll share. That's usually what will get them to do it. Asking for space. Asking for space is a big thing with anxiously attached women, right? You probably need space, and she probably dies when you try to do it. She sits there, she wraps herself in a shawl in a rocking chair by the window and stares out into the wilderness, alone and terrified, weeping quietly as you take 20 minutes for yourself in the other room. I mean, this might be what you imagine, right? Maybe she's really doing this. Maybe she's just sitting there staring at her phone on her bed, just waiting for you, and you can feel the anticipation. Maybe she's just really afraid and she wonders why you need space and doesn't get it, and she takes it personally. Maybe you say, hey, I could use some time alone. What did I do? Maybe she doesn't even do any of those things. You just see the stress. Okay? Asking for space. Help her feel when you need space that giving you that space is an act of love. Okay? Instead of worrying that she's leaving you or worrying that you're leaving her. One way to do this. Hey, babe, I'm going to be really clear with you. I had a rough week. I am exhausted. Being around people is exhausting. You are a good people, but I just don't have capacity for you right now. And the best thing that's going to help me feel better, I think, is just to be alone in silence, maybe to play some video games, maybe to do my projects, work on my business. I just really need to be away from people for a little while, probably like 6 hours, maybe 12 hours, maybe just the whole day. All right. Is it okay? Can you love me this way? Can you give me this love and let me take some space? In return, is there anything that you need? After I'm done, is there anything you need when I come back? That can help her understand where you're coming from. Again, sharing context and then setting a limit on the amount of time you need. Not, I'm never coming back, right? Or she's just going to sit there staring at a clock, counting up the seconds that you've been gone, right? For 10 years. Or you can give her all of that right up front. This is a way for her to give you love. This is actually a way for her to care for you and to feel secure that she's giving you love by giving you space. And you'll both enjoy that. Maybe encourage her to go do something on her own so that she can use that time. So you don't worry that she's wrapped in a shawl by the window crying, waiting for you to come home. Make sure that you're giving her that reassurance and those chemicals with affirmations, that recognition, the affection. Give her that oxytocin that she's looking for, but make sure that you're focusing on the right things. Again, praise her character. Praise the consistency. Praise the steps out of her fear. Praise that. Praise the good things you want to see repeated. Don't praise the things that make her feel like she's trapped in a cycle of desperately trying to please you, or you'll never be happy. Okay? Hey, babe, I really have respected a lot lately how you have stepped up managing your anxious attachment. I'm really grateful. I really have loved how you've given me free time to myself. That makes me feel so loved. Hey, babe, I know that the other day you had that anxiety spike and you got through it and you managed it, and then you came out and you were stronger. That was so amazing. I love how honest you are. I love how direct you've been lately, right? Things like this, great ways of doing this. Praise those things. Give her that. Give her that praise kink. But praise her in the right ways and be authentic when you do this. If you're watching this video and it seems like it would be easier to have somebody guide you through this, a mentor to show you exactly what to do step by step in applying everything you're learning here, you need to join the Attachment Circle Mentorship Program. I will work with you personally for an entire year in 100+ group calls. Plus, you're going to get the support of a growth-minded community of other individuals who will be companions on your journey, people you can trust, people you can work with, and people you can practice these skills with. If you want to join us, join the Attachment Circle Mentorship Program. There's a link below in the description. I'll see you in there. Finally, encourage her to become the best version of herself, which really means more secure. Anxious women are not usually happy women. And they're not usually anxious because they want to be anxious. They're anxious because they don't believe that they deserve love. And that's sad. Anxious women are not bad women. I have a whole video series here on this channel about how anxious women are toxic for avoidant men. And the women flooded that comment section with like, how dare you do this to us? And I understand how that feels. Anxious women are toxic for avoidant men, and they are exhausting for avoidant men. But anxious women are also not bad people. They're anxiously attached. Okay? Again, sit and watch the attachment bootcamp video course with her. That would be a great resource. Hey, babe, I have found this project, this thing from this guy, 15 years training experience, licensed marriage and family therapist for years, master's degree in psychology, built this course to show us how to love each other better and to be more secure in our love and to decrease our anxiety. Does that sound good to you? Yeah. Okay. Let's get a pizza. Let's sit and watch it. It's 7 hours of content. We'll have a couple of dates out of it. We'll buy some sushi. We'll enjoy our time together. And after each video, let's pause and let's talk about what we learned. And let's talk about what we want to do in our relationship differently because of this video. I mean, that probably sounds like drugs to her. So do that. It sounds like the sweetest drug in the world. Do that. Okay. Pick up the attachment bootcamp video course. I'm going to link it down below in the show notes. Here's what I want to hammer home. Plenty of men with anxious attachment women in their life can feel like she's never going to be satisfied. These men can feel like you're going to run out of energy before she ever gets better. I told you at the beginning that I would tell you how to tell when it's hopeless. And that really is when she flat out refuses to do any of her work toward becoming more secure. When she refuses to be clear and honest with you. If she starts to act entitled to your attention and your reassurance. These are really bad signs that she's probably not going to work as a partner because she has flipped around from not just anxious, but belligerent and hostile and controlling. Confront these behaviors directly. They're all destructive to a long-term bond. It's not your job to carry her forever. She needs to walk on her own 2 feet as a full partner. Okay? If she's willing to do the work, great. This process can feel long and exhausting, sometimes for both of you, but there are a lot of skills that you both need to make this work. Okay? You can make this work as long as you're both willing to. You can build a secure, loving relationship that feels fulfilling and relaxing and enjoyable for both of you. Now, if you need help, if this feels like a lot, if you want someone to guide you through this, you're welcome to schedule some coaching. And with me, I have couples coaching. I have individual coaching. I have an extensive history working with couples, both in therapy and in coaching. And I'm ready to show you how to streamline your relationship into the most fulfilling and relaxing and enjoyable romance that you've ever had. So if you need help writing your love story, I am here to help you write the next chapter. Guys, a partner with anxious attachment can feel exhausting. Sorry, ladies. It's true. It can be exhausting. With the constant emotional impermanence. Do you love me? Yes. Okay. Do you still love me? Yes. Okay. Do you still love me? Yes. Okay. That can be exhausting for both of you. But when an anxious woman fixes this, when she gets the love that she needs, and she does her work to become secure, these women can become the most loving and kind and compassionate companions that you have ever met in the world. Because no one will ever understand the need for love like she will. The work that you put in loving her needs to be matched on her side by learning that she is lovable. Okay? So as she works toward becoming more secure, reinforce her growth with love and support. Show her that she does deserve that love that she's never received until now. Give her that love and help her work toward believing that she deserves it. That is the answer for both of you. And you will have a lifelong companion who will do anything to take care of you. And if you guys need some support during this process, if she needs resources to become more secure, make sure you check my website, adamlanesmith.com, and everything's linked down below in the show notes. Okay? I am Adam Lane Smith, the attachment specialist. I am here to build better relationships for you and to show you how to love each other. Make sure you check out my next video, 7 signs that you might have anxious attachment and not even know it. That's a great video to watch with her to start this conversation that can lead toward more secure attachment together. I'll see you in that video.